Hey man, say man, y'all didn't know what it is. Big bounce out, bounce down, K-Po through the door to talk to boxing program my soliloquy. In tough times, don't let us get people do not self. Call him in the file line when you matter. Pete game, 84s on this one. Y'all know what this is. We cussed out, you know, we talking about that boxing. Before we get into the main outro, the main biz, gotta introduce our second host, Keyshawn, the family legend, pro coach. 40 on the hustle, aka Coach B. Let me know how you doing, man.
Hey, what it is, folks, just like Capo say, just like I always say, we clutched up, we clutched out. Y'all know we're here to talk about. Y'all for sure know what we're here to talk about tonight. Hey, but like I always tell y'all, God put breath in your body, everything else is extra. Get up, do you, take care of you, take care of the fam. Hey, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna pass it back to you, Capo. Let's continue the show and let them know how we flow.
Already. So, we had a series of fights yesterday. I want to start off, Coach. I don't know. Shout out to Josh Kelly. He beat Bakram out his island yesterday. He's the new IBF champion at 154. I gotta, I gotta tip my hat to Josh Kelly. You know what I mean? Taking out a boogeyman like that was phenomenal. So shout out to Josh Kelly. But we had a series of other fights um, that happened. The main card. There was a lot of boxing yesterday. Xander Zayas became a unified champion yesterday. He beat Abasa Brave. Uh, so that might set up a Josh Kelly and Xander Zayas or Josh Kelly Boots Ennis. Uh, but y'all here for that real, right? Y'all here for the main card, the Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez card. So we're gonna start with Bruce Carrington versus Carlos. All right, Carlos. Carlos, what did you see in the street shoot fight coming up? Something?
Shoo Castro. Uh, I'll be honest, man. Surprised me a lot for both fighters. Just like you said in the fight predictions, Bruce was gonna have to break through and use his mental and prove he's worthy of being in there and owning the belt. You know what I'm saying? His IQ was my biggest question towards him because I like I said before in the past, I felt like he just kind of relied on straight skill and talent to beat his opposition. And I said in this fight, he's gonna have to use his mental. And boy, did he do just that? You know what I'm saying? Faced some adversity early on in the fight. He had an opportunity to get up, shake off the cobwebs, and continue the battle. And that's exactly what he did. He continued the battle and he finished the battle. Over here on Clutch Factory, we like to see fighters go through some adversity, especially in the midst of the moment. And Shushu did. He went through it perfectly. He got back, he got up, he got back right, and he did his thing. He finished, old boy. And over here we respect that a lot because a lot of fighters don't know what to do when they get knocked down and they get up. Sometimes they get up and they still don't understand what to do. Sometimes they don't get up. First things first, you got to get up. Second thing, you gotta go to plan B, plan C, figure something out, and until you can get your wheels back turning properly, until you clear the cobwebs, you gotta continue to fight. But Bruce did just that. You know what I'm saying? Phenomenal performance from him. I knew he was gonna win it. I just didn't know how he was gonna win it. I think I predicted a unanimous or a majority decision for him. He ended it with a knockout. Hey, kudos to him. Now he just has to stay hungry. A lot of fighters get to this point, they get a belt. You know what I'm saying? Bruce was asking for the opportunity. Give me a chance, give me a chance, give me a chance. He got his chance. Like I said before, he faced some adversity early on in the fight. He got up, he finished the fight. Now, at this point, you can't get complacent. You can't get content. Because when you get complacent and content, you start to have an idle mind. And we already know who operate on idle minds. If you don't know, you need to take yourself to church. You know what I'm saying? Don't get an idle mind. Continue to stay hungry. I don't care. Pretend every fight from here on out, pretend like the moment never happened. Stay hungry. Keep doing what you got to do. Go undisputed. Go unified. Go get the fighters you want to get, and continue to do your thing. So again, shout out to Bruce Carrington. Also, Castro did his thing until he couldn't, and it is what it is. Shout out to him as well for putting on a good performance for us. But again, good win for Shushu. Continue to do your thing. Stay hungry.
Shushu showed a little bit of IQ for me. I was very impressed. Early on, he struggled a little bit, but he was able to put that IQ on display to get that knockout. I mean, that was a very phenomenal combination punch that he put together to knock out Carlos Castro. So, um, not shocked by the outcome. You know what I mean? I knew he was going to face a little adversity, but he was able to rise and overcome it. Where does he go from here? I wanted him to continue to develop. I don't want to rush him too fast into anything. Yeah, he's a champion, but at the same time, you have to develop this guy. And a lot of times you become a champion, you're a young champion. They try to rush these guys. So I want to see him develop him a little more and just continue to learn it and grow that IQ. Excuse me, and put that on full display. You know what I'm saying? So maybe get him another tough fight that'll help him use that IQ. You know what I mean? So we'll see what Top Rank does. Top Rank is the promotional company that does careful matchmaking. They do selective matchmaking with their fighters. I want them to continue to try to work with PBC and get him some tough fights that's gonna build him up. We're gonna segue off into the next one. Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis gets a knockout against Jamaine Ortiz. Coach, what did you see in there his performance, and was you shocked by the outcome?
Most definitely. Like I say, this fight, me and Capo talked offline a little bit. Uh, Ortiz, man, I'm gonna start with Ortiz on this one. I feel like he got away from the fight plan. Once I apologize for that. Daughter came in and interrupted me. My bad. But I'm back on subject. Ortiz. I felt like he kind of disappointed because I even gave him the fight plan. The fight plan was simple: stick and move. Pause. No freakies in full effect right here. Stick and move. Like I don't understand why you didn't go in with the same fight plan you had against T.O. You kind of, like I said, you shouldn't have stood there and try to exchange and go toe to toe, blow for blow with Keyshawn Davis, because I told you that was bad news. Bad news bears happen to you when you're not listening. And it is what it is. He stood there. He gave Keyshawn the opportunity to dispose of him, and the performance just wasn't fit to go against the Keyshawn Davis. Like I say, I don't know exactly what the fight plan was, but me personally, I think the fight plan he utilized against Teofimo Lopez would have been the perfect fight plan to continue to use against Keyshawn Davis. Stick and move. Don't sit still. Don't sit nowhere for too long. Don't get caught up on the ropes. Don't hang out with him in the middle of the ring. Use your jab. Throw a couple combination punches and get out the way. There's no reason to exchange with Keyshawn Davis. That's what he likes. That's what he thrives off of. That's what he feeds off of. He's in the ring for that. He's there to fight. So why give him what he wants? Why let him get comfortable? I also said that too. Don't let Keyshawn Davis get comfortable. He let him get comfortable, 100% comfortable, and he didn't wait long to let Keyshawn Davis get comfortable. Then he got into this rhythm. Jamaine Ortiz got into a rhythm to where he wanted to fight with his hands down. He wanted to do like a hands down peekaboo style type fighting. He wanted to do shoulder roll defense. He wanted to counter punch. That's not you. That's not Ortiz. So again, with that being said, a terrible fight plan put together for Team Ortiz. It wasn't fitting for the matchup, the stylistic matchup that was happening in front of him. So it was just terrible for him. Now for Keyshawn Davis, again, keep proving me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I still think it's some smoke and mirrors. I kind of think this fight was kind of set up in his favor. It almost looked like it was tailor made for Keyshawn Davis to win. A few cons that I seen in this fight, and I said this before about Keyshawn Davis. Sometimes he gets into this mode where he just wants to throw nothing but home run shots. When you're not disposing of a guy early on in the fight, which most of the time, if you're not fighting towards heavyweight classes, the heavier classes in the sport of boxing, it's kind of hard to get guys out of there early. And Keyshawn Davis sometimes goes into this mode where he wants to throw home run shots, rounds 3 through 5 or 3 through 6. Like, you're not disposing of them. Just get in there and be a class act. Keyshawn Davis can box. Sometimes I think he forgets in the midst of the situation he can box. You know what I'm saying? Just box him. Box him into an oblivion, and then when you get your opportunity, knock him out. Now, with that being said, he did finish the fight the way he wanted to. He put him on his bum. He got him up out of there. He got the 10 count Ref said no more for you, Ortiz. Yeah, and then Ortiz eye, you couldn't even see his eyeball when the doctor was trying to see him. So again, good performance from Keyshawn Davis. I would like to see him continue to move forward, but I would like to see him take another. I wouldn't say a tune-up fight, but I think he needs to get in there with another gatekeeper and do away, dispose of another gatekeeper, and then continue the path he was on before he, went into that eruption state and everything happened backstage. I hate to keep bringing it up, but that is going to be a part of Keyshawn Davis's career, whether it goes positive or negative, north or south. Either way it goes, we all seen it. It's going to be a part of your career. Now, what you do from here on out is all on you. Like I say, I still see the smoky mirror effect a little bit. But at the same time, he got some of the smoke out of the way. He's starting to see himself, clearly a little bit more in that mirror. So again, good win for Keyshawn Davis. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Focus. Don't worry about the he say, she say. Don't get into that thing where you celebrate another guy's victory. You know what I'm saying? Now you got a victory under your belt. So ride your own wave and turn into a tidal wave and get back on that horse that you was on before you had your little debacle with Nahil Albright. But again, strong, solid performance. Keyshawn Davis, he liked to throw bomb shots. He was throwing his bomb shots, but also he did do a little boxing. I'm not going to say he didn't do any, but he did do a little boxing with Ortiz a little bit, and I like it. It was some points in the fight where I seen Ortiz did catch him, cleanly. He showed some, a little reaction in there when Ortiz did catch him. And again, over here on Clutch Factory, we don't like that. You get caught and you eat it, then it is what it is. Keep boxing. Don't stick your tongue out. Don't open your mouth. Don't start doing the shimmy. Don't start doing the Harlem Shake. Don't tell nobody, come on. Just fight. Just box. But again, well-deserved win for Keyshawn Davis. Hopefully he stay hungry. Again, another guy that needs to stay hungry. Pretend the moment didn't happen. Keep moving forward as if you not going to get there. You know what I'm saying? Always keep that mindset of staying hungry. And that's all I got for that one.
Yeah, I expected a little more out of this fight. Not gonna lie, but at the same time, it was a good win for Keyshawn Davis. He stopped Jamaine Ortiz. Jamaine Ortiz never been stopped in his career. Um, Good work, Jamaine Ortiz. Like Coach said, man, uh, you can't. I think Jamaine Ortiz underestimated Keyshawn Davis. Really truthful. I
Mm-hmm.
think that he didn't think that Keyshawn Davis was going to be able to hurt him. He didn't think Keyshawn Davis was going to be that sharp. Um, and just I think he underestimated him. I think he thought he's been at 40 longer than Keyshawn. He thought that, hey man, I'm gonna be able to, stand in front of him. Um, Now the footwork was bothering Keyshawn a little bit. When Jermaine Ortiz did move around, it did frustrate Keyshawn, and you saw where Keyshawn needed a little work, right? So, but overall, great win. Where does Keyshawn go for here? He needs to stay at 40. Um, I see him going to 47, trying to fight Devin Haney. That's not good for him right now. Devin Haney gonna pick him apart. I'm just being truthful. Now, like I told you, Keyshawn Davis get experienced, and maybe, and that ties into a coach's thing. Give him another tune up. Keep developing him as a fighter, building that IQ, right? Because if not, it's gonna be another fighter that it's gonna be another Brian Norman situation. If Keyshawn Davis getting there too early with Devin right now, it's gonna be that type of situation. So just don't rush him in to get these fights. Just develop him. What I mean? Keep putting him in there with better competition. You know, and I say at the top of the year next year he'll be ready for Devin Haney. But I think Keyshawn needs to fight like two more times this year, and it can happen. Second on to the next topic. The daughter of them all. Shakur Stevenson dominated Teofimo Lopez. Coach, what did you see in the fight? And were you shocked by the outcome? Let me know something.
Oh man. I'm gonna start with T.O. Just like we predicted, just like we always speak about T.O. It's two types, it's two versions of Teofimo Lopez. He's very inconsistent. He's an inconsistent fighter. I feel like he doesn't believe in himself. So when I say it's two different type of TOs, you have terrible TO and then you have terrific TO. And last night what we saw was just terrible, terrible TO. He looked at uncomfortable from the opening bell. I don't know what was up with his footwork. His footwork is normally always fluctuating between B plus and A minus. Last night, looking at To's footwork, C minus. As far as his punch output and his combinations, normally it fluctuates between a B plus and a B minus. What I see from T.O. last night with his combinations and his punching parameters, C minus. Head movement, defense, normally it's up there between a B plus, B. What I seen last night, almost a D minus. IQ normally sits around, B plus, A minus. Last night, what I seen from T.O., it was just sheer D minus. He was below average in every category last night. I know what people gonna get to saying. Oh, that was Shakur. That was Shakur doing that. Part of it was how Shakur approached the situation. I kudos to him, but at the same time, like I said, like we say over here on Clutch Factory, Teofimo is an inconsistent fighter, especially when he has to take that step up and try to meet the level of competition that he's never met or seen before. He kind of struggles in that area, and it was just a bad look for him. And not only that, I'm gonna say this. I think it might be time for T.O. and his dad to add some more experience in that corner. And I'm not saying break those two up, because that's a different type of bond. That's father son type of bond. I respect it, but at the same time, when you going back to your corner and your father is emotionally involved in the situation and not giving you coaching tips, it kind of destroys the moment. It kind of takes you out of the moment, as if you're not already getting beat to an oblivion, beat to a pulp, and your father's sitting there saying you're gonna hate yourself tomorrow. You gotta hit him, and all kind of other stuff came out of that corner too, and that's just not right for him to be going at T.O. like that in the situation. I'm pretty sure T.O. knew what was going on himself. He was leaking from the eye. He seen what was going on in that battle. He knew he was getting beat down. Then and another thing too, I want to put out there in the atmosphere. I get on social media a little bit every now and then, and I read some comments. You got a lot of people saying and judging T.O. How T.O. gonna ask for Bud after he just got beat by Shakur? Okay, this dude ain't scared of competition. It is what it is. What you think? Just because I lose to Shakur, I'm gonna turn around and say, I want to go fight Jamaine Ortiz again, or I want to go fight a tuna fight? No, no, I'm still ask for the greats. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to tiptoe through the tulips. No, I'm still trying to get my opportunities, whether I win or lose. And again, make sure y'all understand this loss to Shakur for Teofimo is not a bad loss, but in the fashion he lost, it makes it look that much worse. But at the same time, you losing to one of the best in the era at this point. I can deal with that. I can roll with that. I got an L to Shakur Stevenson. All right, cool. He considered to be one of the greats of this era. And it is what it is. I can take that L. But at the same time, to diss him for still wanting to go forward and fight tougher competition, that's wrong. That's why the world the way it is now. Soft. 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 Y'all scared. As soon as you lose, you want to go back and pick on the kids in the special ed class. No, you stay where you're supposed to be at, and you continue to fight the best of the best, whether you win or lose. But again, let's get back on subject. T.O., you got to find some. You got to find some consistency in your career. Because again, I'm gonna put this out there too. I think this might be the last time we see Teofimo on the big stage, because now he's going to have to reset his career. He's going to have to start from the bottom and rebuild and reiterate himself to actually get another opportunity to be in the ring with somebody of the stature or the level of Shakur Stevenson. Because why? We've seen you up here too many times. We've seen you do good. We've seen you do okay. We've seen you do terrible. We've seen you do great. The inconsistency is going to put you out of the loop. So again, find some consistency, add some pizzazz add a veteran coach and or trainer to your corner, because right now I think the dad thing just ain't working. Like I say, don't split them up completely, but at the same time you need to add somebody else to that corner, because right now I don't think your dad is able to keep up with the level of talent that you actually have, and he's still giving you that same old fight plan, and it's not gonna work. So I'm gonna segue off into Shakur Stevens. I'm gonna get dirty with this one. Shakur Stevenson, he looked at awesome. He looked great last night. Some things he did that I've never seen him do before. I've never seen. I've always said Shakur had a beautiful jab, but last night that jab was on a different level. It was clicking, and really he won the fight off a jab. And we say this over here on Close Factory all the time. The jab is the most important punch, because that jab, the way he was popping that jab last night against Teofimo, neutralized everything. It surprised excuse my French, it surprised the shit out of Teofimo last night. He didn't know what to do. His timing was off. He couldn't dictate. He didn't know whether to slip, roll, drop, pull. He didn't know what to do because that jab was consistently coming in. And we all know once you got the jab popping like that, and it's slick and it's accurate and it's quick and it's swift, there's nothing nobody can do. And also, Shakur Stevenson, kudos to him for actually coming forward. I still don't like him in the coming forward manner, but at the same time, to be able to come forward against a guy like Teofimo and dominate in that manner says a lot. Then the fact that he said he wasn't a mover, he proved a lot of doubters and naysayers wrong. He didn't move too much, so I don't understand what T.O.'s problem was last night. That's a situation for T.O. to capitalize on. Shakur not moving and you couldn't capitalize says a lot. Like I say, I think that was a mixture of things. It could have been just Shakur was just that much better than, and he was worlds of levels better than To, or it could have just been To just a deer in the headlights in the moment. I think Shakur really caught him off guard and surprised him. But again, great win for Shakur Stevenson, and I'm gonna say this too: nobody can sit here and tell me that Bud Crawford ain't have anything to do with that performance Shakur Stevenson put on last night. Because me, honestly, if you go back and look at the tape of Bud Crawford versus Canelo, that was almost a carbon copy and paste. It was the same exact thing. Nobody can sit here and tell me, yes, Shakur got his trainers, his mid man, he got the guys he go do, the road work with and all that other stuff. But you cannot tell me Terrence Bud Crawford is not training Shakur Stevenson behind the scenes. And if he is, I'm cool with that because he's pushing Shakur to that elite developmental state, and I like it. But at the same time, Shakur Stevenson gonna have to stay hungry. He can't let guys like Conor Ben get in the way and get in the mix and give him some. Nah, you got other business to attend to. If you want to get him out the way, that's cool. But do that down the line once you're done dealing with everybody else. Because at this point, I kind of moved Shakur Stevenson to the forefront since we no longer have Tank Davis in the fight game right now. So it is what it is. Shakur Stevenson is a front runner of the Four Kings and everybody else that was involved in that little situation until we get Tank back. And who knows if we are going to get a Tank Davis back into the ring anytime soon, or if at all. So at the same time, again, kudos to Shakur Stevenson. I like the way he performed last night. He kind of got me. He kind of got some more attention coming from me. But at the same time, you got to stay hungry. He got to stay humble. And at this moment, at this time, I think you should. This is the time to go to that silent boogeyman. This would be the perfect time. Oh, Shakur ain't talking no more. Why am I talking? I don't need to talk no more. I proved my point against To and anybody else. I'm gonna make an example out of you too, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Teofimo got outclassed, outsmarted. To me, it's just that cut and dry. Shakur Stevenson's jab was money, like you pointed out, Coach. Um, he just beat him with a jab. That's basically it. Beat him with a jab, and when Teofimo tried to get too aggressive, he'd throw a two in there every now and then, a body shot. But T.O. didn't really do anything that made Shakur need to be concerned, right? And this was Shakur Stevenson's best performance, only because of the fact that his offense and defense, he put it together in this fight. Normally, Shakur Stevenson is either he's real offensive or real defensive, and he put it all together in this particular fight. So, one of his best performances. You know what I mean? From an offense, just complete fight perspective. Teofimo, where does he go from here? I think I wouldn't say get rid of Dad, but I would say I would definitely bring in another coach. Um, I would have Dad as like still in the mix, involved with coaching. But I think these father son relationships in boxing, um, they're tough, right? Because Dad got him to be a champion. Just like you look at Brian Norman, got him to be a champion. You look at Danny Garcia and his dad got him to be a champion. There comes a point in time in your career where you might need an extra set of eyes, right? You might need to bring in somebody. So maybe Dad can stay head coach, but you bring in another coach to bring a little bit of pizzazz to, and help you and aid you in the sense of adding something, which would be, hey, we're gonna drill, your fundamentals, right? Because what I saw yesterday from Teofimo against Shakur, I didn't see any fundamentals. I just saw him just thinking in there. And and when you see a fighter thinking, it's not good. And people who don't box don't know what I'm talking about. Like you don't want to be thinking in the ring. You want to be reacting, right? You want to, yeah, you may have time to think, you know, for a split second, but you literally see Teofimo like thinking in there. And when you're in there, a fighter and you're in there thinking instead of just fighting, you're gonna move slow. Everything's gonna be slow. Your feet gonna be slow. Your punch is gonna be slow. You're gonna get caught with stuff. Your reactionary skill is gonna be off. And that's what I saw. He didn't have any answers for Shakur Stevenson. He was thinking, trying to figure out, okay, how I'm gonna hit him, how I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna do that, and instead of just reacting, you know what I mean? Stick to your game plan. Whatever your game plan was, hey man, throw a lot of punches. All right, cool. Hey, look, I'm gonna come in here and let these hands go. I'm gonna react to everything. That's what you gotta do. And I just think that he also was kind of worried about the speed because Shakur was faster than him,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what's the one thing that counteracts speed? Timing. Get Shakur Stevenson's timing down and start timing him on some of them shots. You know what I mean? So I just think that like the performance from Tio, I feel like it was a little bit of what Shakur was doing, but it was more of what Teofimo wasn't doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe. And I think Teofimo was too concerned with he was just thinking too much. That's what I saw. Right? And I know somebody can be like, oh, what you mean? This Shakur. No. That's what I saw. Right? That's what I saw. I saw Teofimo in there thinking. He didn't have answers. And that's what it boils down to. Shakur had all the answers. He said after in the press conference, "Hey man, I studied Teofimo. I've been studying Teofimo. I've been watching film on him. So that's why I be saying to y'all young fighters, watch film, study guys. All that stuff about I don't watch him, I don't need to watch him. So you to make yourself look cool. No, study your opponent. Study his tendencies, and then go work on your tendencies that you need to beat him. That's what it's about. So I think Shakur, man, what's next for him is just maybe I think he should stay at 40. I don't think he should go back to 35. They bringing up Tank again, but I'm just gonna be real with y'all. Y'all not gonna like what I'm gonna say. I still don't think he needs to consider fighting Tank. That's as one fighter I know that would beat Shakur Stevenson. Like I don't have to. I don't have. I may be the only one. You know what I'm saying? I may be the only one. Like everybody may be like, "Man, balls, you tripping?" I don't care. That's the only fighter I'm like. I don't think Shakur beat him, bro. I don't see it. I don't see how he do it. And I know they're gonna be like, "Oh, you see what he did to Teofimo? Tank not Teofimo." We've been telling y'all before the fight that man not consistent. We didn't know what Teofimo was gonna get tonight or yesterday, and we got what we got. You know what I mean? We got bad Teo. Teo either gonna be good or bad, and he was bad. So Tank, he the electric man for a reason. He gonna touch you. Pause. You know what I mean? So, and me knowing Shakur, I just know Tank gonna get to that boy. That's what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to see Shakur fight all the top guys at 40. I want to see him in unification against Dalton Smith. I want to see him because I feel like that's a crossover fight, right? So if he fights Dalton Smith in the UK for that IBF belt, I like that fight. Then he can unify. Uh, Maybe Gary Antoine Russell after that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he could fight that in the Barclays. That'd be big. That'd be big fight right there. You know what I'm saying? Um, Richardson Hitchens. Richardson
Mm-hmm.
Hitchens, he openly said he tight with Shakur, but he told Shakur to his face, "Hey, bro, we if it come to it, they put that money up, we gonna have to fight."
Mm-hmm.
Keyshawn, you heard that? So, like I said before, man, I think Shakur should stay at 40 and then maybe move up. And if Devin's still at 47, fight Devin Haney at 47. But other than that, he need to chill at 40. Coach, you got anything else?
I just wanted to add to put this out to the young fighters, current fighters, old fighters, whoever listening. A consistent theme throughout the last couple cards I've watched. It's one thing to be losing a fight, but it's another thing to be losing a fight and actually understanding when you're actually gaining momentum. Because I've seen consistently throughout this card, for every fighter that lost on this card, they all figured out something, but when they figured it out, they didn't consistently try to explore it, set traps with it, try to build off of it. That's what boxing and fighting is all about. Finding a rhythm, finding something, no matter what it is, storing it in your database, going back to the corner, spitting it to your coaches and your trainers, let them know, hey, you see what I was doing? When I was throwing the 1-2 pull, counter three, it was working. So how do we build off of that? How do we continue to build off of that? You ain't got to do it right away in the next round. Just try it a couple times in the next round, and and ride the wave. Like I seen Ortiz, he had a couple good moments where he figured something out, but he didn't go back to it till 2-3 rounds later. Same thing with Teofimo. That I'm not gonna say Teofimo didn't figure anything out, because Teofimo did. He figured some things out, but he wasn't consistent on trying it. At this point, you losing the fight, brother. Throw caution to the wind. Shakur Stevenson he ain't knock you out. He got you battered and bruised for sure, but he ain't knock you out. Try it, man. Just try it. Move forward with it. Same thing with Castro. You went away from the well that was giving you water. You had him down. Why you go away from it? So it's just a consistent theme that I see, and like I say, I just want to put this out in the atmosphere. When you figure out something, whether it's in the midst of the fight, whether it's in the midst of sparring, whether it's in the midst of training, repetition and preparation is the number one things you can do outside of training yourself. Repetition and preparation. Preparation equates to watching film on the next three opponents you think you might be fighting. I'm not just watching one guy, I'm watching three guys at one time, because I know I might fight this dude, may beat this dude, and if I don't beat this dude, I can run into this dude, and if I do run into this dude and beat that dude, I already know who next. So I'm watching three guys at one time. Preparation, film study, repetition. Repetition is not, oh, I'm gonna do this workout 2 times this week, and then I'm gonna do another workout 2 times this week. No, repetition is going in there working on what you need to work on all day long. As long as your coach is allowing that gym to be open and the bags to be swinging, and the ropes to be turning, repetition. Go in there and rep what you're supposed to be doing. Because the only way it's gonna come natural, and we're not gonna see you thinking in the middle of a fight, is if it's naturally trained in your body. Muscle memory is key. Preparation and repetition. Y'all fighters got to get that right. But I'm done with it, Capo.
Man, we was saying in the podcast, man. Y'all continue to support us on this journey. Genesis beginning. Y'all know that. You know Genesis means beginning, right? But like I said, man, tell your mama, your grandma, your auntie, your boss, your boss's boss, your boss's boss. Let them know, man. We clutched it, we clutched that. You know what we're talking about now. Boss, coach, we out of here.
Salute.